Hey everyone, what is going on? So I'm going to be doing a series of episodes talking about all of the different cups, all but probably the Jungle Cup because that's new, but all of the cups, basically why you should use them for your tournament or why you might not want to do it for your tournament. And we'll probably have this on a daily basis, but we're definitely beginning with the Boulder Cup because that is cup number one. So it's like, should you want to run a Boulder Cup in your community, or do you prefer something else? So let's go ahead and just jump right into it and see. So it says we're on pvpoke.com, and I will leave a link to their website in the description down below. You definitely want to go ahead and check them out because they're up to date with all the PvP information, not just PvP but raids and everything else. So you definitely want to go ahead and check them out. Love using them. But it says, so the Boulder Cup, you could use steel, ground, fighting, and rock types. So let's see what it says. What humble beginnings. Those who remember Boulder Cup probably remember the double Skarmory menace. I certainly do. That can be no longer a thing with the species clause, but Skarmory is still top bird with a heap of positive matchups. Countering Skarmory used to mean investing in Melmetal, finding a legacy Magneton, or opting for Steelix, but now Probopass and Magnezone are also within reach. Bastiodon is an option too, but with all three alternatives, we have a very hard time against Medicham and the Mud Boys. Medicham was a big player before, and it didn't even have Power Up Punch back then. Now Medicham is a wrecking ball that only has 3 losses in the 2-shield scenario: Torterra, Charm Gallade, and Charm Donphan. Charm is the only way to hard counter Medicham, and it's a risky proposition with all the steel types about leaving these Pokemon vulnerable to being hard countered themselves. Marshtomp and Wishcash were previously favorites in the Water Ground category with relatively solid matchups across the cup, and acting as Skarmory's bodyguard, Hydro Cannon Swampert takes over that role with insane damage and generally even matchups with Skarmory itself. Some may still prefer Wishcash for its bulk and ability to threaten its grass counters with Blizzard. A bunch of new confusion users are also looking to mix things up, including Bronzong, Gallade, and Jirachi. They are each well-rounded in their own right and pick up some important matchups, including Torterra and Medicham. Gallade can provide additional grass support, but will need backup to deal with Swampert, while Bronzong and Jirachi have an even Skarmory matchup and can deal with the grass better thanks to their steel typing. With these newcomers, we could probably kiss Breloom goodbye too. And I actually did have a Breloom on my team in the original Boulder Cup. The one that I won, I did have a Breloom. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and just check out some of the Pokemon that they recommend. So, what are the top Pokemon for this cup? Skarmory, which is still, as they said, definitely the top bird and the Pokemon you should definitely use. Airslash, Sky Attack, and Flash Cannon. Now, when I used Skarmory originally, I didn't have Flash Cannon on mine. I only had one charge move, which was Sky Attack, so I had Air Slash and Sky Attack, but now I have like Flash Cannon, so you should definitely use Skarmory. So let's see, we have Skarmory up there. We also have Medicham, which is going to be on everybody's team. Counter, Power Up Punch, and Ice Punch. We have Swampert with Mud Shot, Hydro Cannon, and Earthquake. Hydro Cannon is coming very soon from Community Day, so definitely get one for the Great League. In fact, by the time this video goes live, you'll probably already have one for the Great League with Hydro Cannon. But we have Bronzong, interesting, with Confusion, Psyshock, and Bulldoze. I actually do agree with that. I think this is a solid Confusion user because it's not weak to those Pokemon, those fighting Pokemon like Medicham. I mean, Medicham, you know, with Power Punch is still doing good damage, right? Because it's neutral to those Confusion users. So Medicham will still do well against Bronzong, but Bronzong is technically not going to be weak to it. It's going to be neutral to it. And then we have Gallade with Confusion, Leaf Blade, and Close Combat. Now, Gallade didn't exist when the original Boulder Cup was around, so now it's interesting. I did use Gallade in regionals, and it helped me out quite a bit. So Gallade is definitely a solid Pokemon as well. Number 6, they recommend Jirachi with Confusion, Doom Desire, and Psychic. Now, obviously, Jirachi wasn't around, and for a lot of you, it still isn't, because if you didn't go to GoFest, you don't have a Jirachi yet. But who knows, maybe if it'll come out before your Boulder Cup, we don't know, right? But Jirachi is an interesting Pokemon. I've personally never used it. I know Doom Desire does a lot of damage, so I don't know how it does, but it could be a solid Pokemon to use if you're considering it. Torterra with Razor Leaf, Stone Edge, and Earthquake. Razor Leaf is definitely a powerful move. I mean, you do have to watch out for Ice Punch, right, from Medicham. That's definitely going to do a lot of damage to Torterra, so you do have to watch out for that. But it's definitely a solid Pokemon. I did not use this originally, but I probably will now. And then we have Hitmonchan, and then yeah, with Counter Power Punch and Ice Punch. I did use this in my original tournament. Obviously I didn't have Power Punch on it. I think I had Fire Punch and Ice Punch with Hitmonchan, and then Gliscor wasn't around before. They get into like, yeah, Gliscor, Lucario, Wishcash. Some of these Pokemon are still really good. Relicanth, it's a regional exclusive if you have it, with Water Gun, Aqua Tail, and Hydro Pump. Definitely a solid Pokemon. Claydol, Toxicroak, and then it gets down to like Marshtomp. I know Marshtomp was a big one back then. It was actually used more than Swampert. Now, funny enough, I did use Swampert. I didn't use Marshtomp, so I did use Swampert with just Surf. I didn't have a secondary move on it. You know, it's actually kind of funny how I actually won that Boulder Cup, you know, and I had some good competition too, you know. Yeah, but I didn't have secondary moves on like probably most of my Pokemon. I was just going for fun. I wasn't really trying, you know. I didn't know what to expect. It was my first tournament. I didn't know I'd be making videos for months to come, you know. We've been doing this this PvP content, I guess, for like 7 months if we have 7 cups right now. That's crazy. But Quagsire, Poliwrath, Steelix. I didn't use Steelix. I think I faced the Steelix. We have Blaziken with Blast Burn and Blaze Kick. So we have some interesting Pokemon. Fortress is number 22, so it's way down there. So, you know, and then we get to Polion, Breloom. Yeah, as I said, I used Breloom in my original tournament, but I wouldn't use it now. So I do agree with what they were saying. I wouldn't use Breloom now. But yeah, so going back up, what Pokemon would I use? Well, definitely Skarmory. You 100% need Skarmory on your team. And then I would use Medicham. So that's 2 Pokemon. 2 Pokemon that you absolutely need. I personally, I haven't tried out Hydro Cannon Swampert yet, because as I'm recording this, it's not released. So I want to say that since I used Swampert, and it actually did well for me because it charged up Surf so fast, I would go with Swampert again. So I'd go with Mudshot, Hydro Cannon, and Earthquake as well. I want to see what Muddy Water does, but no, I'm pretty sure I would go with Earthquake. Mudshot charges up those, it just charges up those moves so fast. And then I would be looking at probably Bronzong, Gallade, and Torterra. So those are my 6 Pokemon that I would probably use. Those would probably be my finalized team, and I will be using a video of those Pokemon to try them out and see how they do. I know I did one Boulder Cup video, but I'm going to be doing more, of course. But yeah, those are probably going to be my 6 Pokemon. You have Skarmory. Now, keep in mind, back in the day when the Boulder Cup was originally available, Medicham and Skarmory were both in the format and both fantastic, but Medicham didn't have Power Up Punch, so it lost really hard to Skarmory, pretty much. Now that Medicham can charge up that Power Up Punch so fast, it actually competes with Skarmory. So, you know, obviously you have to block the Sky Attack, but if you get off multiple Power Up Punches, you can get off several Power Punches, and your Medicham is going to be beefy. It's going to be really strong. So, Medicham, obviously you need it on your team, so it's better than it was, if that's even a thing, you know, it's better than it was back then. So you definitely 100% need Skarmory, and you need Medicham, without a doubt. And then, as I said, that's 2 Pokemon for me. And then, as I said, yes, I am going in with Swampert. If you prefer Wishcash or Marshtomb, you can totally go with that. I think Mudshot is fantastic. Hydro Cannon does an absolute insane amount of damage. Earthquake is powerful. You guys know both of these powerful. Mudshot is going to charge up super fast, guys. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. By the time you see this video, I probably will already have my hands on it. And then Bronzong, I think, is fantastic. Now, Bronzong did not exist when the original Boulder Cup was around, but I think it is fantastic because it is a confusion user that is neutral to fighting type Pokemon. So you'll be doing confusion damage to those fighting Pokemon, or super effective damage, all except for Medicham, because obviously Medicham is going to be neutral to confusion because it is also part psychic. So yeah, I do think Bronzong is a fantastic option in this cup. And Gallade, I think, is another fantastic Pokemon, another strong confusion user. I guess you could go with Bronzong or Gallade. I guess you don't need both of them if you want to try out Jirachi. Personally, for me, I just don't think I'm going to invest in Jirachi. It's a good Pokemon. It's a Psychic and Steel type, so it's definitely a fantastic Pokemon. But for me, the 100% Pokemon are going to be Skarmory, Medicham, Swampert, Gallade, Torterra, and the last one will probably be, yeah, I would say it's probably going to be that Bronzong. I think that's a solid team. You have 2 confusion users. Obviously, you don't have to bring both of them with you if you're going into the tournament. But yeah, definitely a similar turn of events compared to the original Boulder Cup, but it is different, right? Because as I said, Medicham can beat or can counter Skarmory well. You know, it's kind of like an even match, but you know, it can stand up against Skarmory. You don't have to switch out if you lead Medicham and they lead Skarmory like before you would have had to. Skarmory was absolutely dominant back then. Another option is, I guess, Probopass, which I think is a pretty good Pokemon, but I don't know, I'd have to really think about it because it is super weak to those fighting type Pokemon. So if I was, like last time I went with Melmetal because that was the only counter you had to Skarmory, but now you have other counters like Medicham, which actually is a counter now to Skarmory, so I don't think you need it. But if you want another counter to Skarmory, you could bring in that Probopass. I mean, Probopass is not like high up on this list, but it's still a really solid Pokemon. As I said, I did have Melmetal before, but I think Probopass is better, even though it's really, really weak to those fighting type Pokemon. But obviously, I mean, you don't want to have it with you. So those are some of my suggestions. And should you go with the Boulder Cup in your community? Well, I think it's a very solid choice, and I think a lot of people will be choosing the Boulder Cup for a couple of reasons. One, nostalgia. No, not really. I guess one, they would be choosing it because it was the original cup and people haven't played it in a long time. Another reason would be some people might have started after the Boulder Cup and they just never played the Boulder Cup, right? So that's what I was trying to say. So some people might want to play it because of that. They might want to see how it shapes up. A lot of people might get annoyed with that Medicham being overpowered. That's just the way things are, but I think the Boulder Cup is a solid way to go, and I think it's a good cup to use or to go with. So if your community is talking about it, I think I give you a thumbs up. You know, I know we're doing regionals, and I'll talk about a regional cup video in my video, you know, in a video in the future. But yeah, that's just my thoughts and my opinions on this cup. Let me know what you think of the Boulder Cup, and let me know what team you would run. Even if you're not doing a Boulder Cup, let me know what team you would run in a Boulder Cup should you do it, right? But yeah, so that's going to conclude this video, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, click on one of the links to check out another one of my videos that you'll probably enjoy.